not too sure where people are in relation to the coronavirus and stuff, but I have made a decision. And my decision is quite simple. That right at the moment, given the way the world is being shaped by coronavirus and the way it's impacting other countries and now the way that it's impacting Australia, there was a point of when we were doing pretty damn well against this virus. In fact, we were probably doing better than most countries. And suddenly things have got much worse and are potentially getting much worse. In Sydney, for example, New South Wales anyway, they're saying that they're expecting the virus to hit about 25,000 cases a day in coming months. And it's something that I don't think any of us are necessarily looking forward to. I have a son who lives in Sydney and I'm concerned about he and his partner's well-being as a result of all of that. So the bottom line is I'd be interested to know what you think about how you're avoiding contact with those that are with people, I guess, who are likely to infect you in relation to the virus. So I've decided, and my wife have decided, that the most safest place for us to be at the moment is home. Of course, this creates a wee bit of a problem because Christmas is coming up, people gather, and I've only got one child here in South Australia, so, and no doubt we'll be trying to catch up at some particular point, but the best possible solution, I think, that anybody can take to this particular problem is simply not to go out. And that I don't know how you're feeling, but let me know by comments below. But one of the issues I think that is something that I'm trying to address is, number one, how do I feel about the virus? And number two, how is it restricting me from doing what I normally do? And at the moment, I'm on holidays from my usual work, which is therapeutic work, and I've got plenty of time to fart around doing some interesting things that I haven't done before. And one of those things is probably to put out more videos, such as this one. But there are certain things I think that we could start to refocus on, basically. So for me, it is about trying to refocus on doing some of the things that because of the work that I normally do, I now can do. So putting out some more videos, talking to you guys, having conversations over the internet generally, trying my best not to meet up with people, and if I meet up with people, that they need to be double vaccinated, and that we need to ensure that they're not some loonies out there who have some sort of anti-vax stance and are putting the rest of us at risk. So this is what I'm doing right now. I'm just taking it easy and trying to look after myself, and I hope that you do the same. I think the most important thing for us to do is over any period of time, not just this holiday period, but any time, is to take care of ourselves and particularly take care of those people that we love and care for the most, those people around us, if we care to mix with those people. And it's really important, I think, for us to be able to view how we're going to move forward around all of this. I know we can't stay at home forever. I don't plan to stay at home forever. There are places I still want to go and see. A few years ago, my wife and I went over to Europe to visit my son, who now is in Ireland, and we would like the opportunity to do that again. But given our age, we're certainly not going to put ourselves at risk, and we certainly don't want to travel to a place whereby we might get stranded as well if we do contract coronavirus. The other thing a statement I want to make, I guess, is that there's so much uncertainty at the moment, and I think it's the uncertainty that creates the biggest problem of all. Not just how we're dealing with the virus, which is part of the uncertainty, I guess, but that we don't know where we're going. As a species, we like to know how we're going to get from A to B, and sometimes when that's murky, when it's clouded, when it's uncertain, we will find that we become depressed. We become sad about the fact that we can't determine how our future will be. We can't determine what that would look like. And I get that. And I think there are a lot of people out there who really feel distressed by what is happening around the world in terms of coronavirus and how it is that we are finding ways to deal with it. And I'm hoping that at some particular point there will come a time where we'll say, well, we don't know what the future's going to be, but perhaps the certainty will be is that the future will be uncertain. Maybe that's a place which we're going to come to which will strike us all as being bizarre, a bizarre place for us to be. There are many people that I work with over the years whose lives are up and down. They're dysfunctional in some way, and I guess I could argue that for most of us, our lives are kind of dysfunctional. That is that we have events happen in our lives that cause us to feel a certain way, that interrupt our emotional stability, and that the coronavirus, though, has become that thing which has created a sense of uncertainty around almost everything, I think, and that we need to find ways by which we can discover how to be who we need to be within the environments in which we're thrust. So many of us, I guess I need to put it this way. Many of us feel, I think, not only uncertain, but maybe fearful, scared of what the future might be. And I was going to do a video, I still might do it, but I'll talk about it a little bit now, and that is about how we need to focus on the now. So even though we're not able to do the things and meet with the people that we would normally meet with because we want to keep them safe, this last week I would love to have gone to the test match at Adelaide Oval here, but chose not to for a number of reasons. Firstly, it was very expensive, and secondly, I didn't have anybody that I could go with specifically at this time, and thirdly, I didn't want to hang around with 20, 30,000 other people and not knowing what was going to happen in terms of the spread of the virus. So I chose not to go. But I have enjoyed the time watching the match on television, enjoying the commentary, which is a bit different these days than what it used to be. It's not as staid and boring as it used to be, and that it's been a great test match. So, and to enjoy the moments that we have may not necessarily be the moments we want them to be. It would have been nice to have been at the match and experience the atmosphere. But, that wasn't possible for me. So I've chosen to enjoy the experience by watching it on television and talking about it whenever I might catch up with somebody. And I still have my regular things, which is my Friday morning golf match. So there are things that we can all do, I think, which means that we don't slide into that space, which is feeling that there is never an end, that the problem will never go away, that even though we might have to live with coronavirus for the rest of our lives, perhaps we'll find different ways of resolving the problem in terms of medical solutions that there may be to these sorts of viruses. And my guess is that probably down the track there will be, but at the moment it's about how we deal with it on a day-to-day basis that seems to be important. I've decided that for most of the time I'll stay at home. For you might choose to do other things. You might choose to put yourself at risk, and if you do, that's fine. Just don't put other people at risk. That's all I ask. So there are different ways by which we can deal with the virus. And I hope that you find a way that fits with you. And dealing with your environment differently now, I think, as I was saying before, is really important. And that we find ways to deal with what is happening to us now a wee bit different than what we had in the past. Thanks, everybody, for being with me. Take care, look after yourselves, and more importantly, be safe.